If you're anything like me, then you can maybe struggle to try and eat in a way that aligns with your values but also matches your budget. That's why this week I thought I would take you out food shopping with me and show you some tips and tricks I do to try and balance the kind of living and eating sustainably but also doing it in a way that saves money. This will be a fully vegan food haul because I am vegan and my budget for every month for food is about £250. And if you want to learn a little bit more about this subject, then I do have a couple of ebooks on my Etsy store that are relevant. So the first one is a slow guide to simplifying your finances, and this helps you set a realistic budget for yourself and stick to it. And I've included all my tips and tricks when it comes to saving money and reducing outgoings that I've learned from living as a minimalist for the last 5 years. And the second ebook is a slow guide to meal planning and prepping, which is really important when it comes to saving money, and we'll be chatting a little bit about that next. I'm a big fan of meal planning, which you know if you've watched this channel before, and I've done a couple of videos with recipes that I've meal planned, so I'll link those videos below if you've not seen them. But essentially for me, meal planning means that I'm able to reduce the stress, so I know exactly what I'm going to be eating every day, or at least roughly what I'm going to be eating every day, and it also saves me money because I don't waste money on food and then it gets wasted, which is also aligning with my values because I don't like food waste and it's not great for the environment. So I think meal planning can take a little bit of an initial time investment, but overall it really does save you time. And like the rest of my life, I do all my planning in Notion, and I have a Notion template Plant Lovers Food Planner on my Etsy store, which has a meal plan element to it. So I'm just going to show you guys that now and what I will be eating in the next week or two. So this is the dashboard of the Notion template basically. So you've got them in different sections. You've got meal planning here. So we've got meal plan, grocery list, pantry inventory, and meal prepping, a wee schedule you can create for yourself, and then a recipe database and some resources I've added in here for you guys. So some plant pantry essentials that I like, a seasonal eating guide, some plant-based resources, and then down here is a journal section, so where you can list your own food values and also track your food for whatever is important to you. But today I wanted to show you guys my meal plan. So I like to plan my meals over 1 to 2 weeks, and this is where I do it. So there is a table format where you can list the day of the week, the date, and the different meals. I don't tend to fill in the breakfast because I pretty much have porridge every day, so I don't really need to. But there's a section for lunch, dinner, and snacks. But you can also view this as a calendar, which is much easier to kind of see what you're doing every day at a glance. So it lists all the different meals you'll be having. And then if I want to save or quickly refer to any recipe links, I can open this up for a certain day and list the recipes here. So in this case, I've got a recipe that I've linked for a curry. But yeah, I really enjoy doing my meal planning and find it super helpful. So I'll link this Notion template down below if you guys wanted to check it out. And now I'm going to get my bits and bobs together and we can go food shopping. Aldi first, because I always start at the lowest cost supermarket, and I brought a smoothie with me because you should never shop hungry, that never ends well. Next stop, Tesco. we are back at the tiny home with a successful food shop. So I will be showing you what we got, but I should first say how much I spent. I spent $64.98. So for reference, that's probably up to 2 weeks. It won't be totally 2 weeks because I tend to do like a bigger shop every 2 weeks and then a smaller top-up shop every week in between, and it's for 1 to 2 people. So me and my partner, he's not vegan, but we do eat a lot of our main meals together, but he also buys some of his own non-vegan food. So yeah, I will show you what I got. We'll start with pantry items and tins, most of which I got out of Aldi because it's cheaper. So I got chopped tomatoes, I got 3 of those. I got their budget baked beans, 2 of those, 2 butter beans, 2 chickpeas, and I tend to get the bashed one occasionally because I know that people tend to leave those and I worry that that means that they'll go to waste, so I do get the bash one now and again. And then I got 2 coconut milk. I go for the full fat because I'm not worried about fat particularly, and also the low fat basically just has more water in it, so it's not great value. And then I also got the passata. I do my lentil ragu with their passata. I would say I probably prefer the Tesco passata because it's a bit smoother. This is more, it's got like more herbs or something in it, but it's not too bad. And then I got the olive oil, which is much cheaper to get out of Aldi, especially as I like to do extra virgin olive oil. My pantry is pretty well stocked, so I didn't need to get too much stuff. I'm running fairly low on rice, so I just got some more basmati rice. I'd quite like to get a bigger portion of the rice whenever I get it, but the problem with living in a tiny home is there is a bit of struggle with storing big things, so I am a little bit limited. I also got budget spaghetti from Aldi. In terms of plant milks, I got a mix. So I got some soy milk. I got 3 soy milk from Aldi, and this is their cheap one. I don't notice much of a taste difference between the cheaper and the more expensive soy milk, so I tend to get the cheaper one, although I would say I would prefer to get organic soy milk because I know that's much better for the environment, but it's something I'm working up towards. Like I said before, like, you don't have to be perfect, but I'm just doing what I can. But I will say that I've gone back to Oatly when it comes to oat milk. I was on the Aldi oat milk for a while, but it's just not very nice and it tastes weirdly sweet, and I just wasn't a fan. I think Oatly are also a great company and do really good things. Plus, this was on Club Card points. I absolutely cleaned up with Club Card points, so that's, yeah, something definitely to recommend. Is if you have like a royalty reward kind of card with your local supermarket, it's definitely worth doing. I actually saved £8.10 with my Club Card points in Tesco today, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. Other vegan dairy I got is just butter. I am not too low on it, but again, this was on Club Card points and it can be quite expensive. I think this is more than half price, so I thought I'd get that, and I just get their Flora vegan one, and then I always get a tofu, another one that was on Club Card points. I already have at least 1 in the freezer, so I didn't get more than 1 on this occasion, but I always have some tofu in my pantry. And then we're cereal lovers, so I got 2 big boxes of Shreddies, the Tesco own ones, that are actually price matched with the Aldi ones, and for some reason our local Aldi stopped selling normal Shreddies. They can just get like the frosted ones, so this was like 95p, so pretty chuffed with that. And then I got the budget Special K, Aldi Special K as well, just as an option. For snacks, I try not to buy too many snacks like Trek bars, pre-made pre-made snacks, because they're more expensive and also means that there's more packaging involved. But I like to have some options just in case I haven't been able to make my own. So I get these pretty much every week or every time I go because they're really quite cheap and they're really yummy. They're just like a fruity oatcake thing. And then I don't usually get grey stuff because it's so expensive, but this was on deal, and I tried these cherry bakewell ones recently and they were really nice. I also really like their lemon and blueberry Graze bars. And the one thing I don't ever scrimp on is tea because I am a fussy tea drinker and I always drink Clipper. I drink their green tea and mint as well, and their everyday tea. I normally get the organic, but this was on Club Card points, so I thought I'd just go with their normal everyday tea this time. For frozen, again, I got Club Card points, so I got a decent bag, I can't speak today, guys, sorry, it's decent size bag of chips, and these were on deal, so I got 2 because it's good to have them in the freezer. They're just the Linda McCartney normal sausages. For bread, I got some pita breads. These are my favourite ones. I got branded bagels because, again, I really like the branded one, and I don't get bagels very often. It's definitely a treat when I do, but I've got quite a busy week coming up and I like to have quick lunches, or at least snacks, and I usually have peanut butter bagel with banana and cinnamon, as it's really yummy and easy to do. I got 3 of the dead cheap garlic bread from Tesco that is accidentally vegan, And then I managed to find the last naan bread in Tesco, which is also vegan and really, really yummy. A lot of naan breads are vegan because they have milk or milk powder in them. But yeah, I get this in the actual normal bread aisle rather than the Indian kind of themed aisle where you can see other naan breads. In case you are also vegan and shop in Tesco, I would recommend these. I also keep most of my bread in the freezer because then it lasts a lot longer. I didn't get any kind of normal bread because I actually prefer the sourdough bread from Co-op, which I get from our local Co-op instead, because I don't like any of the other breads. I'm a bit of a bread snob. For fresh produce, I try and get loose wherever I can, which means that I do end up shopping in Tesco more for my fresh produce. I also find that the produce lasts longer and tends to be of better quality in Tesco compared to Aldi. I think the only things I got in Aldi actually were the squash and the bananas. But yeah, fruit I got some bananas. We already had quite a few, so I didn't get too many. I got 3 apples and 2 lemons. I have the lemons with hot water in the morning as my first morning drink. I got some chestnut mushrooms. Fortunately, I couldn't get these loose. The Tesco in Inverness, which is bigger, does tend to have more stuff loose than I can get in the local Tesco, unfortunately. So whenever I'm up there, I do try and stock up. I got a squash. Squash season's approaching, so all this kind of stuff is coming into season, which is great. I got onions, and I also got loads of brown onions, and then I got a red onion, which I use for one particular stew, so I just need one of them. I got some potatoes. Again, not a huge amount because I already have some in my pantry that need eating, but I'm doing a lot of potato themed meals this week because I'm going to do a shepherd's pie. And I also got just one sweet potato. Again, I've got a few kicking about already, so I didn't need too many. Other loose stuff I managed to get were some courgettes, 2 courgettes and 3 carrots. And then I couldn't get my broccoli loose, unfortunately, but I got broccoli from Aldi actually, so I got that from Aldi as well. I got cauliflower from Tesco. Garlic, can pretty much always get this loose in Tesco, which is great. And spinach, which I do tend to get organic. Again, like I said, I try and balance, so I get organic when I can, and when I'm feeling the pinch then I tend to not get organic, but I like to have it in occasionally, and I do prefer organic spinach and organic kale because I just think it really does taste different. But yeah, that's all of my food. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, it's my way of shopping, so balancing cost against sustainability, and I just wanted to give you guys a realistic example of what I try and do to be good to the environment but also save money, and obviously eating a fully vegan diet. So I hope you enjoyed. If you've got any hacks or saving hacks, then do drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and remember there are links to my Notion planners on my Etsy store in my description, and other than that I will see you guys next time.